Mario's thrown a lot of parties over the years, and it's no secret they've been a bit of a snooze cruise for a while. His parents just sold some car on eBay, barely used. But Mario Party's gone back to its roots, and for the first time in almost a decade, not only am I excited for a new entry, but it also manages to deliver. Well, mostly. So what makes this Mario Party super? Well, Super Mario Party is chock full of modes. Yeah, the basic Mario Party mode is back in full force, but it's joined with some returning options and some completely new ones. Oh, and you can jump on people in the hub world, which is the real game. Goomba finally gets his revenge. When you have a group of friends together and go through an elaborate 2-hour board game, chances are you won't have friends at the end of it, and that's because they really went back to the basics. You still roam around a game board one by one, gathering coins to buy stars and playing minigames after each round. You can still steal stars from your opponent or sabotage them with game-changing items. The reason we loved Mario Party in the first place is back in full force, but you can definitely feel it wasn't the only focus. In fact, you can kind of feel that everywhere. Outside of the standard Mario Party, there's a co-op spin on it that lets you roam around freely after your dice roll like in Mario Party Star Rush. Then there's River Survival that has you working together to paddle a raft as you pop balloons to start co-op minigames. There's Soundstage where you play what's essentially mini rounds of Rhythm Heaven. Toad's Rec Room has slightly more complex minigames and some of them even span multiple Switch systems. And finally there's Challenge Road, essentially the single player portion of the game that has you do minigames with distinct challenges. Phew, that's a lot of stuff considering the earlier Mario Party games just had you doing, well, Mario Party. And that volume kind of becomes Super Mario Party's undoing. It's great that there's more choice, but with all this variety, there's, well, a distinct lack of variety. Mario Party only has 4 boards, River Survival only has like 15 minigames, and you can basically see all of Soundstage in just a few minutes. They went and built a fantastic basis for the revival of Mario Party, but no one mode feels fleshed out enough. But that doesn't mean they're not a ton of fun. Even with the limited boards, I still had a blast roaming around because each and every board has a character of its own. Even the co-op versions are remixed enough to feel fresh, and if you tire of one mode, you can just go over and try the next. They even spice things up with new twists like being able to collect allies in the main board game who not only add to your role, but also assist you in certain minigames. And while Toad's Rec Room didn't grab my attention for too long, the games where you put 2 Switches together were simply staggering. This is a brand new use for the Switch, and it just works. But if you're still looking for that demonstration of what the Joy-Con can do, Super Mario Party is without a doubt it. You can't play with a Pro Controller simply because many of the minigames revolve around single-handed motions. It makes sense in practice. There's a really interesting balance of Wii-era minigames and classic traditional button setups. Whether you're flipping a steak with the Joy-Con, shaking it to feel how many nuts are in a box with HD Rumble, or simply telling a Wiggler that he's a good boy, Super Mario Party is the game that shows how versatile the Joy-Con can be. You also get a little song from the Joy-Con whenever it's your turn. Very cute. It does come at the cost of only being able to play the game with the Joy-Con detached from the system, but with the way the game's designed, it'd be straight up impossible to play any other way. The sheer number of possible games really kept me engaged with Super Mario Party, as after every board game round, I could be faced with any style of play, and almost each and every one is a ton of fun. Some of River Survival's games outstayed their welcome though, given how you begin to see the games over and over, but as a whole, this might be one of the most elegant collections of games in the series, and they're more accessible than ever, with the whole group being able to test them in real time before the action starts. However, and this is unfortunately another complaint for River Survival, you have to flip the Joy-Con around quite a lot. The vast majority of games are played with the Joy-Con on its side, but seeming as you're paddling, your Joy-Con is always going to be vertical during actual progression. And also a little baffling is Challenge Road doesn't even tell you what way to hold the Joy-Con before starting a minigame. If you aren't familiar with the title, then you simply have to guess, as there's not even a practice area in this mode. Just like any Mario Party game though, the minigames on their own aren't the draw. It's how they're mixed with the laughs and betrayals of the board game. And I really do think this is one of the better games in the series in that regard, especially compared to the last 10 years of entries. With a few more boards, it could be up there with the best, but as it is, it kind of feels like something is missing. This is the first Mario Party with an online component though, and while we are unfortunately unable to test it during our review phase, I really don't think this area will affect my overall opinion of the game. You can't play any of the core modes online, just an assortment of minigames. I'm sure there's still fun to be had, but it's a rather shallow drop in what could have been a much larger pond. Still, it's a start, and hopefully the next game elaborates on this, and elaborates all around. Super Mario Party feels like a party this time. The presentation is truly phenomenal with brand new character renders, new additions to the roster, and absolutely stunning animation. I always feel bad for Monty Mole during Whack-A-Mole. It's clearly the most effort the team has put into a new Mario Party game in quite some time, and if they sacrificed a few of the extra modes and used that time to build up the others, I think I'll be singing a very different tune. It really does feel like a celebration, but one with rather lackluster fireworks. Potential is what I feel with Super Mario Party, and while it's great they're heading in the right direction, they unfortunately just don't go quite far enough. But hey, if you're looking for a local multiplayer game that really highlights what makes the Switch special, then right now, this might be one of the best choices. I liked Super Mario Party. I wanted to like it even more, and at times I really did, but it unfortunately just doesn't take too long to see everything there is to see. But with the right friends, it can still stay fresh. That's always been the draw of Mario Party. If you have the right friends under the right conditions, it can be so much fun. And Super Mario Party is the first game in the series in quite some time to properly remember that. Thanks for watching, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Mario Party, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye.